Joining us now is Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House. Good evening, Mr. Speaker. Within 96 days to go until election, how can the Trump campaign ensure that voters see the real Kamala Harris?
I think showing more videos exactly of that, because think about this. This Kamala Harris has never even had a vote to run for president. Even when she ran, she pulled out beforehand. I've watched her in California for quite some time. She has not changed her position. She just changed her answer on the words she said to you. This woman isn't elected from California. She's elected from San Francisco. She won the ability for the most liberal member of the Senate. That meaning she's beating Bernie Sanders. She's beating people who we thought were very liberal. You've watched her job as vice president. She was put in charge of a few things, the border. And what did she do? Kept it wide open, only visited it once, and then fought to make sure you eliminated ICE. And as she was a senator just a few years ago, she fought to make sure you didn't hire any more border agents. This is who she truly is. This is who she's been her entire life. So it doesn't matter if she changes her words. We know what her actions are. And you know, this race looks a lot like 1988. Remember Dukakis mid-July up by 17 points, picks a moderate Democrat to get in, and all we did was start laying out. She was an attorney general. What has she done? She didn't prosecute people. She let people free. She destroyed California, letting people steal up to more than $900. That was her responsibility of changing that initiative to get it passed. So I think when people see the real Kamala Harris, I think you're going to see a very big victory for President Trump.
But you know, Congressman, the truth is, Mr. Speaker, that she will promote herself as this great prosecutor who's gone after everyone from, you know, transnational drug gangs to abusers, and make herself out to be the person that Americans perceive prosecutors to be, when in truth, I mean, she was behind the Minnesota bail fund to release people without bail, some of the murderers. She was the one who didn't believe in putting people in jail, and she will promote that, and it will be very hard to take that away. Does that hurt her on the left with the progressives?
Well, I think the progressives will sit and say whatever you can, just win. You know, they removed Biden simply from this point. We just want to win from any perspective. I think it's incumbent of every American to see the true record. And you know what? There's a great contrast between President Trump securing the border, being tough on crime, giving you an economy that's strong, that lifts everybody instead of inflation, an open border. And to say you're a prosecutor from San Francisco is not really a prosecutor. That's letting people free. Judge, you know this better than anybody.
Yeah, I am laughing about that, you know, but the fact is the numbers have changed, Mr. Speaker. We see them tightening up. What's that about?
Well, it was all about Joe Biden. So people didn't want Joe Biden, whether you're Democrat or Republican. He's off the ticket now, so there's a relief. But when they see this is a bump, not a bounce. So what you're going to find is it probably won't sustain themselves. People are going to look at her record. I think a debate will be healthy a little later, get through this convention. But you really got to start laying this out. And when you look at presidential history, in 1988, when Dukakis was running, he was up 17 points in mid-July. We laid out that, just like you'll probably find with her, a lot of Willie Hortons were let free, that she wasn't tough on crime.
Yes.
Then you saw Dukakis in that helmet.
Okay.
Does she really look like she has the ability to cause those tough decisions? And then when it came to crime, asking did he support the death penalty even if his wife was raped, he said no. And you saw George Bush win big. I think that same thing could happen here.
Well, Mr. Speaker, maybe you will be proven correct in November. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.